Scholars know this. Why do they allow people keep thinking it's a religion unless they have an untoward agenda? And it's very clear that they've created a lot of confusion, a lot of divide and conquer.
Our sentences are made up of words. The word sisters in Greek mythology were fates or witches who controlled the fates of man. Every word we say directly affects our reality and ultimately our fate. The Egyptian deity Thoth is said to have invented language and writing. The original purpose was to use words for magic. The words write and write are pronounced the same. A rite is a ceremony or ritual. Whenever we're writing with words or speak, we're initiating a ritual.
We back at it with another episode of Top TikTok Reaction Channel. As you can see, we're coming with etymology on this one.
This is one for the etymology nerds. Do you know the etymology of the word etymology? Well, etymos in ancient Greek was truth. So etymology is the study of truth.
I've been trained that word actually means word. Words is nothing but vibrations that have been decoded and labeled. That's all this shit is. Think I'm playing. Ani have ataka. Ani have atanak. What did I just say? Half of y'all don't know. Probably a few Hebrews know. But notice, that went nothing but tonations and vibrations to you. Until I tell you what I just said, I love you. I said I love you in a masculine entity, and I said I love you in a feminine entity. Now you can take what I just said, ani ohev ata, and you say, oh, that means I love you. But before then, you didn't know. It was a bunch of gibberish. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Everything is about coding and decoding. So if you're going through this simulation, decoding information, and that information is what you perceive as reality, then what are you? What are you?
More etymology and language manipulation. Everything that you hear about is based on the water. For instance, almost every ship always has a female name. And when you offload it on the dock, it's called a birth. Kind of like when you're born in the hospital, you're birthed and then given to a doctor. Then you're handed your citizenship. Same goes for the whole financial system. Your money is referred to as currency. You get it? Current, C. And to take out your money, you go to the bank. You know, like the river bank. And a river bank is used for what? To direct the flow of a current. So the banks control the currency and where the cash flow of all the money goes. Don't forget that if you want money to spend, you'll need to make sure that all of your assets are liquid. So you should probably have your money in cash, or C-A-C-H-E. And to cash something means to store it. But remember, we're just all dead entities. That's why they say that we are put on ice, aka frozen assets. And then when we die, it's taken off ice. Just until you're dead, and then they can claim it all. And then all of that is given to the bank. Why do you think they put all the GMO in the food, all the pharmaceuticals that kill you? Because the quicker they can unfreeze their assets, and you're finally worth something to them. This is exactly where they got the term cold, hard cash, because we're all on ice. Cold, hard, and cash to store. That's why a synonym for cash, C-A-C-H-E, is bury. Cash is also known as a money box, and they tend to bury a money box. Why do you think we end up in a box at the end? Think about it.
English languages are spells, just listen.
So what do I mean by the secret spells of the English language? Well, let me share with you what I call our premier life sentence. And it goes something like this. We awake each morning and go off during the weekdays to earn the living at various jobs and undertakings until we come to the weekend. And this seems perfectly acceptable to most people. However, more people die between 6 and 9 on a Monday morning than any other time of the week. So I do what I call a translation of the English language, and I spell that T-R-A-N-C-E with the idea that words cast spells. So when you translate that life sentence, you remember that awake is a funeral party for the dead. Mourning is the state you're in when you attend a wake. And you would have to be in a weekdays to earn the living, since urns are for the ashes of the dead. We call our jobs undertakings. Job itself is a Hebrew word for persecuted. And what we get at the end of this perverse bargain with life is the weak end of the deal, as we become progressively weakened ourselves. And so our most prevalent greeting to each other is hello, the reverse of which is oh hell. And at first, I suspected the hands of collusion entangling the language to foster illusion. And I think it's quite true that a culture's theology has a great deal to do with a word's etymology, and how it evolves over time to combine incompatible meanings that may undermine the original thoughts it was meant to define. But now, I don't think it's planned, for the thing that I've found is that like concepts can gravitate toward the same sound and vibrate at the rate that our thoughts designate. Because words are electromagnetic vibrations whose fine alphabetic tintinnabulations can take on the tint of our true expectations, which they then imprint on our metal of mind, causing sounds to adhere when they're of the same kind.
We are born into this world. Born comes from the English word barren. Today's definition of barren is unfruitful, bleak, and lifeless. Our children, as designated by our language, aren't even ours. Parents are a pair who rents. Our governments, especially our courts, don't treat a parent's right to control and direct the upbringing of their child as a fundamental liberty. We're forced from a young age through many types of indoctrination, and our parents are helping in this process. Look at the word childhood. A hood is used to cloak and hide. The etymology of children is chill and dren. Chill means cold. Dren is a name meaning a strong and healthy individual. So children are strong individuals who must be chilled, made cold. Stay with me, this will all come together. In Ballantyne's 1948 Law Dictionary, the term human being says sea monster. When we see monster, we get the definition, a human being by birth, but in some part resembling a lower animal. In the Oxford New English Dictionary of 1901, a human is defined as belonging or relative to man, as distinguished from God or superhuman beings. So these definitions are telling us we're monsters, and the word live backwards is evil. Our language is telling us we're born as monsters who are bleak and lifeless to a pair who rents us out to the government and other corporations that indoctrinate us. Our childhood is spent under a cloak, and we're evil when we live. Our sentences are made up of words. The word sisters in Greek mythology were fates or witches who controlled the fates of man. Every word we say directly affects our reality and ultimately our fate. The Egyptian deity Thoth is said to have invented language and writing. The original purpose was to use words for magic. The words write and write are pronounced the same. A rite is a ceremony or ritual. Whenever we're writing with words or speak, we're initiating a ritual. Books contain chapters. A chapter often refers to a sect of a secret society or religious order. To page someone is to summon them. Pages in books made of words are summoning things to enslave or imprison our souls. The word grammar comes from the French word grammaire or grimoire. Grimoires were ancient magic books which contained instructions to summon demons. We wake up each morning. A wake is a funeral party held for the dead. At the beginning of each day, we say to each other, "Good morning." Mourning is what you do when you're sad for the loss of someone or something, by calling it a good morning. It's pretty masochistic if you ask me. We then go to work at our occupation. When we occupy something, it can mean being occupied by a military force, like in war. Many occupations are focused on money and the dog-eat-dog mentality. The dollar bill comes first before the environment or even each other. Therefore, we are committing war against each other. During each day we work our occupation. We are the military occupiers. An urn is for the ashes of the dead. For the average 9-to-5 worker, it would have to be one of the weekdays in order to earn a living. I agree, you would have to be in a weekdays to earn a living. During the week, we become weaker and weaker until finally it's the weekend, and we have become weakened. Somebody or something who is weakened has no power. And during the weekend, many of us turn to drink alcohol. Alcohol comes from the Arabic word al-kul, which is a body-eating spirit. It's also the source of the word ghoul. We drink booze or booze. Booze are synonymous with spirits who scare you, but what can you expect when you're drinking spirits? Alcohol has always been a medium for entities to flow through, and the effects in part demonstrate this.
Oh, yo, nah, this is crazy. Because the fact that you said that, and I've been having that download after my mom was talking to me about something as well, where she said, be less, bless. I'm like, yo, that's crazy, but I still say blessings, ashe, but I feel like, of course, with the connotation of positive energy. But the fact that that is, and I've been trying to correct it and say fulfilled, be fulfilled, or I say it to myself, I'm fulfilled. Because I'm like, yo, hold up, whole time, be less. You don't want to be less, you want to be more. So I'm literally, the fact that I was just thinking about this a few days ago, and then I was going through my comments and I seen this one, blows my absolute mind, blows my mind. Gosh. I love you though. Thanks for the support, and for anybody that's watching this, I love you. Be fulfilled. Ashe.
This is not going to be one of them attacking videos, but I want you to understand why I said that. When you say understand, you are giving your power away. Remember, words, vibrations, all this shit is spells. The English language is nothing but witchcraft. We speak spells on each other every single day. Good morning. Morning, as in when somebody dies. Just like when we awake, like when you go to somebody's wake. Like everything in our words, like it's fucking witchcraft. Like really, think about it. Even grammar derives from the word grimoire, as in spellbook. So, yeah, thanks. I appreciate the compliment, but understand why I said understand.
Now I'm sure everybody here knows what a thesaurus is, or thesaurus, however you want to say it. But you might not know what that word actually means. Now, the theo comes from the word theos in Greek, which relates to the study of the divine, or God. Hence we get theology. And as you can see here, saurus from ancient Greek, or sauros, lizard, reptile. So this word, thesaurus, something that we use a lot in English classes in school, something I'm sure a lot of people have in their house. It literally means lizard god. God lizard. The book of the the book of the god lizard, the book of the lizard god, however you want to put it. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's the book of the Dracos, it's the book of the reptilians, it's a book of spells, people, and it's in the word as well.
It doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
What, refugees in your own land? Then he talked about your Great Seal Pyramid, because he's a 33-degree Mason. He says, I've been to the mountaintop. And I've seen the promised land. I might not get there with you, but we as a people will make it to the promised land. He's talking about the concept of the Great Seal, but you can't talk about the Don because you're done. Let me tell you, baby, human beings are not crayons. They honor their mothers and fathers, and they have a nationality. The reason why, one of the major political reasons why our people are so mistreated is because they're the only people on the planet that become adults that still think human beings are crayons. Talking about green people and purple people and pinstripe people, and don't matter what color you are. Go to a law book and look at color, and you know what it means? A semblance, a simulacrum, as distinguished from that which is real. Persons who claim these brand systems that were set up by Dutch masters at North America in law are called wards of the state. They are non-descendable. Any wealth that's passed down from their foreparents will be taken by the states because they are held as being in dishonor. And I suggest to you, even though you have young eyes and you're a little girl, pay attention to what's around you. When you see other Asiatics and Africans come here to North America, they'll deal with us and they'll do business with us. But you will not see them integrate into communities where we are. We are outcasts because we're the only people that continue to put this crazy, ignorant, foul crap on our offspring, calling them colors, knowing that it's a fraud. And Hebrew is a corruption of the word Ibri. And Ibri is those ancient Canaanites, Moabites, and Hittites that crossed the great river. Those who crossed over are referred to the Ibri, which means they are those who crossed over the river. It's not a people, it's a history and an action.
And all of the tenets of that religion is based on the elements of the religions of Kemet.
Scholars know this. Why do they allow people keep thinking it's a religion unless they have an untoward agenda? And it's very clear that they've created a lot of confusion, a lot of divide and conquer. And so a lot of these people in the Western Hemisphere who've been conquered are arguing whether they're Hebrews when they're all the same people.
How do you say, get information out to our people without them being sensitive to their belief systems? In our culture, Tetragrammaton actually deals with the 4 gates and the 4 elements. And yet Tetragrammaton is presented to people who don't understand it as the ineffable word or 4-letter word. You know, YHWH, and then those who don't understand the science just say Yahweh, you know, and then those who don't understand that say Jehovah. There is no Jew. We're Yahudi, which some people call Hebrew. It is no Hebrew, it's Ibri. That's those of us who crossed the river. It cannot be emphasized enough. And yet those same people will turn around and condemn cosmology, which is actually the foundation of all religions on the planet. And so what you find is people sitting around debating their beliefs that have nothing to do with the science of life. We need to... Or next to it, huh?
Yeah.
Latitudinally, coming down here. You see these islands here?
Yes.
You see down here one of our old sacred places, Easter Island?
Yes.
That's America. Central, north, south. Tell me who's the American president?
George Bush.
Oh, he's the president of Brazil? Because that's the United States. You know that's the United States of America, don't you? Because it is. You know, El Salvador is the United States of America. Did you know that?
No.
Mexico is the United States of America. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
That's because they cheated you in school. They did a deliberate dumb down so that you wouldn't understand that United States is a generic term. Elementary! And yet, it's debated. And they refuse no debate. Now you understand why they murdered Malcolm when he found out? A lot of cult members already knew this stuff. Like you seen in Elijah Muhammad with his fez on earlier, it was an addict. Brother Khalid, as soon as he started telling these people they're wars, all of a sudden he had a seizure in the hotel room. No. Just go and tell pro operations. Because you are the heirs to the world's largest estate and don't know it. This is what your black leaders ain't telling you. You're not the poorest people, you're the richest people. You've just been under European colonial operations and you forgot your bloodline. That's what's called the Great Masonic Secret.
And that'll wrap up another episode of Talk TikTok Reaction Channel. Hope you like the etymology. I hope you learned a little bit. But, you know, I'll be dropping some more heat, so stay tuned.